Yo, hey, you out there. If you burned out, feeling like life's a beat you can't catch, this one's your remix. I'm Marcus, aka DJ Potential, your host on the Kinetic PE Mixx show, where we drop faith, fire, and a little Milwaukee grit to reignite your soul. Today, I got Drastic on. David is the name. David Rhodes. Straight out of 08, turning street stars into hip hop gold. 5 bids, 10,000 bars, and a heart for his daughter. This dude's my kind of player. I have flopped harder than a busted mic stand, so I'm hyped to chop it up with him. Let's roll. All right, fam, welcome back. Imagine me, man. Imagine my guests on here, but more so, young Marcus rapping to a crowd that would rather boo than bounce. Faith was my lifeline. Drastic, you got a Milwaukee tail that'll make my boo fest look like a warm up. So take us back.
Um, well, my name is Drastic. I'm a Milwaukee artist, producer, engineer, etc. I started doing music at about 8 years old. My brother is a Milwaukee producer that's kind of known, Jay Billa the Great. And so I started out watching him in Eye to Eye Studio with the likes of Cuckoo Cow, Baby Drew, Eric Note, and some artists like that. Godzilla, Big Hank, D Slick, and this is in the early 90s. So I came up around music as a youngster, seeing my brother with DRE and Dre Love, the NSSG. Shout out to them. But yeah, just seeing it as a young kid, being around hip hop. My mom and dad listened to a lot of oldies, so the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Al Green. So music's just been a part of my DNA since I was young. I picked up a pen at about 14, 15. But before that, I was kind of just freestyling here and there, putting tissue at the top of tapes to
You
record
did.
over it.
I
If,
remember
if
that.
those that know, they
Yep.
know. So yeah, I used to take the tape and put the tissue at the top, bro. So
I remember that, man.
you remember
That
that?
was the real mix. That was the real mixtape.
Indeed, yes, sir. Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Back in the days.
yeah, exactly. You really did grow up around a good breed, man, of like some spitters, man, and people who knew how to make people bounce, and just, like the flow you got. You can tell that like a lot of like your influences show up in there, and it's a real mature, like solid old school, but like you able to keep up with like what's supposed to be out here too, and tell a story, and I like that.
That's one of the things that I pride myself on, and I kind of go after is staying in that gray area where I'm not too old to be a has been or a what if or a past tense, but I'm
Yeah.
current enough to keep up with the newer generation. So that's something that I really kind of study and focus on. And yeah, I seem to have like cracked the combination to that code where I'm able to stay in the middle, you know.
Yeah, I dig that, man. So yeah. But like, how would Little David, freestyling at Wheelie turn pain into beats back then?
You mentioned Phyllis Whitley, man. That's my old shout out to 20th Street Phyllis Whitley, my old elementary school.
Yeah, they made that apartments.
Yeah, they're apartment buildings now. That's
Yeah,
different. They've turned my old elementary school to apartment complex, so it's weird riding past sometimes and seeing that. But yeah, man, I used to be in the lunchroom there with a pencil, beating on the desk and on the table, and other rappers would come, crowd around, and we would have battles. And this is back in
yeah.
the days when I went, elementary schools. And then I start freestyling a little bit. Somebody else would make a beat. My brother is Billa, so of course I got access to all the dopest beats that I need, and then I produce. So, I used to just get beats from Billa and practice, man, and freestyle. I really got good at it being on Hampton and Villard when we stayed in that area in
Mhm.
Milwaukee's northwest side. When I clicked up and, well, I kind of grew up with Killer B. He's a
Yeah,
well-known
yeah.
battle rapper and showstopper. J Magic and YA. Shout out to Bag Life Yodi. But yeah, being around
Mhm.
that group, we came up together. We would meet up at Hampton Park or at Fairmount or at Lancaster, and we would just battle rap, man, battle each other. You know what I'm saying? To iron sharpers iron, to get our craft perfected. And so that's kind of how it started, man. Meeting up, playing basketball, and then battle rapping. My guys, Killer B now, and that just
It's definitely about
transcended.
yeah, it's definitely about finding your tribe to help sharpen your your instrument, man. And if you don't find the right tribe to to be around, you're not gonna like really have nothing to like you know practice. You have that practice playground, man. You gotta have that practice playground. So like when you go out and doing what you're doing now, it shows up. Like, oh, okay, this guy been putting in work. He been doing this. He was born to do this.
Right.
That's what I hear a lot, man, when I'm listening to you. The fact that like, you really put like your passion in this and you make it look easy.
It takes time, man. It don't just come, overnight. It takes time, practice, technique,
Yeah.
know-how. It's an art to it. And so,
Uh-huh.
yeah, shout out to L Dot, Mike Love, my guy, one of my closest associates and friends. We should just freestyle for hours, man. And mess up, you
Yeah.
keep going. And I guess, after you do it, it becomes like second nature after you do it so long. And so, yeah, it didn't come overnight, but I wanted it. It's something that I enjoy doing. And it just takes work, man, and dedication. So,
Speaking of just like work, man, and work on yourself, like, I always wonder, like, people like yourself and like myself who like have seen the inside. You experienced 5 beds, shootings, drugs, parole hits, man. And when the bars is locked tight, how did you keep your soul together, man?
exercise and writing. I stayed in the gym. I worked out 2, 3 times a day, and I wrote a lot. I'm talking about business plans, music, and I'm talking poetry, rock, country. I just wrote and I read a lot. And, that occupies your time. And so that's kind of how I stayed, separated from the masses, the bunch, is, working out, reading, and just, perfecting my craft. So that's how I made it through those unfortunate prison bids like that, man. Just staying to myself and working on myself.
Man, that's heavy, man. And people out there who's listening, watching, I'm sure they felt that in their bones like I did, man. And a lot that I have learned out of faith and about like just being able to restore your soul, and you was doing that, but you
Yeah,
build a militia minded and Midwest alliance through all the chaos, and that's big ups to you for that.
yeah.
Do you feel like hip hop pulled you out?
You said, do I feel like hip hop has pulled me out of
Yeah,
that
it
like
pulled.
type of that rut,
Yeah,
that cycle?
yeah, that
Definitely.
cycle of just being in the midst of the chaos.
Yeah, hip hop is something that I've always been able to rely on. That has always had me, held me, and I think that it was important. And I could have been a lot worse off without having been introduced to hip hop. So I think that hip hop did play an instrumental role and part in me being here today. I could have been in there in those behind those bars, like you said, not perfecting my craft, not working on myself, and not paying attention to my soul and my spirit. And so, because of hip hop, I was sitting there writing those lyrics, those songs. Yeah, it kind of gives you something to put on as armor. I think hip hop has helped me out a lot, man. It kept me out of a lot of situations and trouble. So yeah, to answer that, yeah, I think hip hop has helped me tremendously to where
Oh,
now I get paid for it. You
that's
know,
that's the bonus.
that's the name of the game. Yeah,
Yeah, the bonus, man. Reaping what you sowed truly into this, and
indeed.
we all have those moments where whether it's street or stage, that flip our hustle from survival to being redeemed and being on a new stage. So, like, what was there a moment for you, like any particular moment, whether it was in the street or in the stage, that like kind of flip the switch on and say like, okay, this is the direction I'm going.
There was a couple of moments that come to mind real quick. One, my daughter being born. I have a 6-year-old daughter, love her to death. And so, that kind of changes a man. You know what I'm saying? If he's a righteous man within and he's a parent, it kind of changed me. I knew that I had to be, there for her, and I couldn't be absent, and I had to provide because, she didn't ask to be here. So it was that along with a couple of events like my brother, Jay Billa, had cancer, had a bout with cancer. And that's always serious. You had to
Mhm.
go through chemotherapy and radiation. And then my mom had 4 bouts with cancer. So I think that those things, my father as well. So my immediate family, everybody in my immediate family has been attacked by cancer. And a lot of those were times that I was incarcerated. And, stuff like that really weighs heavy on you, bro. Being behind those bars and not being of no assistance to your loved ones and your family. And so that, along with just guys around me. So, I would have Killer B, I would have Jay Billa, I would have Reed. Shout out to Respect, Meek Management, and Milt G, Shadow, the Serious. And they would be like, Dras, we need you out here, bro. Like, you are an instrumental part of this process, and we need you out here for us to all grow and move forward. You're a part of
Mhm.
this program, and we need you to stay out here. That kind of touched me, because I realized how important I was to not just myself, but other people.
Yeah.
My talents and the skills I have and the know-how that I have. A lot of these guys, man, they said, man, Dras, I don't release music when you're away because you're my engineer and I feel comfortable with you. So I think all those things encompassed together kind of helped me to keep focused, and understand that it's a bigger purpose for me to be out here and to make the right decisions.
Drastic, man, you dropping that gospel right now. So,
Send me, man. It
like,
ain't on me.
yeah, I'm
It's
loving
send
it.
me.
So we're gonna take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be back with Drastic, and like he's showing us and teaching us that life can be a beatdown, but faith is the remix. So your rut is just a verse waiting for the hook. Let's vibe with this. We'll be right back. Like, so we back, ladies and gentlemen. We got Drastic, Milwaukee's own with us, and we having a real good discussion, man. He's been dropping some gems. So if you made it this far, make sure you get your pencil ready because we got more for you. We're about to spin this a little bit, spin the block a little bit more, about burnout, man, and about how we spin that burnout into drastic flow. My stumbles, I see a lot of them, when I listen to a lot of his bars. So drastic, you turn jail into jams, man. How do you wear your scars now, fam?
By giving back and paying it forward. So I always look at the situation like it was nothing but God, the Lord, that brought me through a lot of those tough times and those situations. And so, if I had a helper and I should be a blessing and a helper and a hand onto others because I know firsthand how it is. So I try to practice paying it forward, man. I do a lot of stuff for like the children because feel like that's important so that they don't walk in the same footsteps as me and bump their head and make those same mistakes. If I can convey them to them, then I might could save them a prison bed, a felony, a getting shot at. You know what I'm saying? Riding around in the streets trying to hustle. If they just listen to me, and sometimes it just takes one, just one. So I try to practice like, paying it forward and giving back a lot. I do a lot of free shows in the summertime at different events and venues. And then I do like book bag giveaways. Shout out to Von Mays. We do giveaways and, meals on Thanksgiving, turkeys and stuff like that. So that's how I think that I make my impact and wear my scars is paying it forward and giving back. And then while I'm doing that, informing and educating people on, the stumbles and roadblocks that I've encountered and just giving them my perspective and hoping that it curtails their decisions where they won't have to endure the things that I've endured.
Like that, man. And we was talking, and I got to definitely plug this in for you. We was talking on the other side, when we had the break about like how you've been blessed to just be able to like employ other people, and that really is like active participation and like
Yes,
just
sir.
transforming the whole landscape of how things are for our people, man. And I don't think it's nothing much better when you can help another person make $1. So and the fact that you like, you team up with people like Von Mays, you in the trenches. You in
I'm
the
in the
trenches,
trenches,
you on the
man.
front line.
I'm on the front lines. That's the only way to
Yeah,
happen,
on the
man. That's
front
the only way
lines. Yeah,
change to happen. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's dope, man. So, you know, a lot of times people like have a hard time owning up they mess, and so therefore like they try to shy away from it. But what's one trick that they can, that they can own for themselves to like help them own their mess, and something that they can grab when they feeling broke?
I would say there's nothing like taking full accountability. And full accountability, for those that don't know, I'll teach you real quick. Look in a mirror. It's that simple. Just look in a mirror. It's nobody but just you. So full accountability, when I realized taking full accountability, its power and the art of it, that's what I think that if people take anything away from this, taking full accountability for your actions, decisions, and behaviors will take you very far, because you have no one else to look at. You have nothing to look at other than you and your decisions, no outside factors, just looking in the mirror. When you take full accountability and look at yourself in the mirror, that's when you begin to make changes for the better. So that's what I would give people advice. Look, take full accountability. When you make a mistake, look in the mirror and fix it. Make you better. And that's what people should take away from this. You got to face your demons and your problems head on. Trying to sweep them under a rug won't help you.
Like, no, not at
Yeah,
all.
it don't help, man. So that's taking full accountability, bro, is how I got through this process, because it was quite the process. It's a cycle. It's an art and a science that they got behind, keeping the oppressed and, the
Mhm.
incarcerated in that system. You have to break free from that. And you won't break free from that until you take full accountability for yourself.
That's the heat, man. And whoever that person that's watching right now, like, they just gotta do simple as that. Like that's a simple action. Like and while you at it, sip some of this Transform You coffee and say a prayer, man. And own your scars, and
You have to.
everything that come along with you looking in the mirror. Drastic, you said it best.
Yes,
Said it
sir.
best, brother.
That's how you grow,
You
bro.
know, yeah. And with growth, man, you know, we look at your songs and say, man, this dude is a master collaborator. He got feature after feature. He on features, and but really, what it is, you have built a lot of relationships along the way, and you even began to build your own crew at a time like the Bad Boys, Fat. So how do we rally our squad? When we need to build our crew.
Well, it was quite simple for me. I had the advantage and the luxury of my crew being predominantly people that I grew up with. So, DJ 16, shout out to DJ 16, the whole
Yeah, shout out
HHF.
DJ 16. Yeah,
Shout out to
yeah.
Pimpin'. Shout out to the whole HHF, Joe Day. But, these are people that I've grown up with since I was a teenager. And so it's almost always easier to deal with people that you know. And so, yeah, having those people that I've grown up with that are musically inclined like me, the Killer Bees and the J Magics and the, Shadows and, everybody that I come up with, it was real easy. It was a smooth transition. They my partners already. So that's where you got Hampville Entertainment or the Body Gang or Hamp Squad. you know, it's from a bunch of guys that are musically inclined, that love hip hop and music, and that came up together. So yeah, that made it kind of simple, man. If they already your friends, then, or like the group Bev Boys, it's my brother, so it's
Mhm.
just like, it reminds me of like the Clips or Neptunes for real and his brother, like, you know, so it makes it much more simple.
So what we are landing the plane to right now, and like bringing the jet to a cruise, is the fact that you've been able to make your mark. And I look at like how how I've been podcasting, and then I had a quick transition into music, and then like here I am right back at it. Drastic, you got Black Sheep, so how do you make your mark?
By separating myself. So I feel like that we have a lot of the same thing, repetition in music. Excuse me. And so I feel like separating myself from the crowd automatically makes me stand out. And that's it's simple, like just caring about music and what I say, you know, my image. A lot of people will do anything just for clout or money. And that's just not what hip hop is about to me. So that right there just kind of separates me. I'm not willing to do just any and everything for clout, likes, or views or money. And then just really studying the hip hop culture. A lot of people fail to really study the culture, of where hip hop originated, some of the pioneers, the Cool G Raps, the Rakims, the Big L's, Big Daddy Kanes, stuff like that. Like you really should know that if you're benefiting from hip hop, you should know the origin of it. And so I think that a lot of that separates me and gives me a passion and a burning, a yearning that a lot of artists don't have. And so I think that that's what makes me different than a lot of people, the black sheep, so to speak.
Facts, facts. So like, man, you got a nice library of music, and like, man, we can listen to you down to Florida on the way back. In fact, I have like put you in the mix a couple of times.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So if somebody came up to you, after they watched this episode and say like, you know what, man, what track of yours should I put on first to really get a chance to know you, or or something I can just put on like right now?
I would say a song off the Bell Boys' first project. Our first album was called Our Piece of Art. And it's a song on there called Woke Up This Morning. And the reason why I will point to my verse on that song and, that song in particular is because the message behind it is like within 16 bars, it's my story. So something like that, if you listen to Woke Up This Morning by the Bell Boys, that encompasses a lot within a short amount of time. So I would say listen to that, or you could possibly listen to UBU, song off the Bell Boys Piece of Art album as well. And UBU is pretty much an ode to just staying true to yourself, which I'm, have perfected. So I would say listen to one of those projects, one of those songs off that project to get a good notion of who I am and what I stand for.
I like that, man. You gave them like some like a blueprint right there, a little direction to go, and to really help like also not only just groove to, but like be able to like really get a message out of it,
Right.
for them to put them to like after work.
Right.
So speaking of active work for you guys, man, I want you right now, if you haven't already shared this with someone someone you don't know, someone who would definitely benefit from this, leave a comment, leave a like. If you got a specific question for Drastic, put it down in the comment section. Drastic, man, do you have anything that like is coming up that like you really want to shout out, or something that maybe you haven't had a chance to like really fit in here, this conversation today?
Well, of course, yeah, man. I'm going on tour again this summer. I've been touring for the last 2 years on my own and with the HHF Milwaukee section. So I'm touring this year. It'll be starting in April. And then also the Bell Boys have their second project, Free Rhyming. That's me and my brother. So that'll be coming out within the next month. Also, I'll be doing my first solo project, studio album release called Better Late Than Never. And so that'll be here for the summer as well. So, just a couple of projects in the works for the summer to keep everything, on the up and up. Also, I think I'm going to do the level series, the final level of the mixtape series I got. That'll be dropping this summer as well, the end of the summer. So just stay on the lookout. Go check out www.gunsdownproductions.com. That's guns with a Z. We got new music on there. I have our own website, so go check out some of the videos. We got beats on there for purchase or for lease. Check out all my social medias on Instagram. That's Drastic MKE. And then Facebook, you got David Rhodes with Drastic in parentheses. X, you got Drastic MKE. And just check us out. Check me out. Stay tuned. We got a lot of new exciting things coming up.
Hey, man, Drastic, you are a Milwaukee king. Thank you for continuing to drop bars and truth, man. We appreciate you today on the Kinetic PE Mixx show.
Man, appreciate you for having me. And thanks for the opportunity, bro. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Man, you definitely got to come once we like do the grand opening for the new radio station / studio. So yeah, you come through there, man, and we chop it up. Man. You like my cousin now, man.
It's all good, bro. We fam. It's all good, bro. We fam, man.
Yeah, I feel like I know you, man. I feel
baby.
like I know you. Yeah, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen out there, boys and girls, the grind is just a pre-mix. Own your scars, squad up, drop the beat. You heard that directly from the voice, the one and only, the Milwaukee King, Drastic. So you want to start tomorrow, get a little bit of coffee, prayer, one move, hit our website up, hit up Drastic, and follow him on Spotify. He's on Apple Music. The way I came across him is Drastic Milwaukee. His Bad Boys album slaps, and if you love this, share it with your burned out fam, hit subscribe, and catch us on the next Kinetic PE show. Face your rhythm, crank it loud, we out.
We out. Peace.
Transform You Radio. You are now tuned in to Transform You Radio. You hear me? Check. I stand for what you stand for. I'm at your door like the landlord. I can see the future, yeah, I fast forward. I get on the mic and I transform. Follow me, I'm in rare form. Follow me on this world tour. The asteroid that you can't avoid. Small changes make impact. I ran for it, I stand for it, I'm not sitting back. You can leave the rat race or you can leave the trap. Come with me, let's rap. Take a trip and we pack. And we'll be right back. Yeah, come with me, let's rap. Take a trip and we back. And we'll be right back. Yeah, I stand for what you stand for. Hey, I get on the mic and I transform. Follow me on this world tour. The asteroid that you can't avoid. Follow me.